Once again, my neighbor Linda Crosnoe and her good friend John Matteson have chosen to completely violate the restraining order. An officer called them yesterday to let them know they were in contempt. But apparently they don't. All right, Your Honor, just so you can see the contempt of court. This is my post. The 10-inch mark is right there. That's my post. You said they couldn't come within 10 inches. You said that they couldn't trespass, couldn't touch this fence, etc. And they are clearly not only touching the fence. I had an officer call them yesterday when they were violating on Sunday. And so now John Matteson and Linda Crosnoe both are coming right up to past that 10 inches, attaching stuff to my fence. As you can see, I'm taking you all along here. This is where my retaining wall was that they removed. And that's the 10-inch mark there. As you can see, I have this mark here so that it's marked clearly. And yeah. So I called SVPD and they are on their way. All right, so here, Gary, this is what, see, they're pulling it in past this. They're coming up right there. Linda, why don't you say hi to Gary?
I don't want to talk to Gary.
Oh, you don't want to talk to him?
No, if I talk
you don't want to tell him why you...
I will talk to Gary, I will tell him about the
You want to tell him why you're destroying his property?
Well, I'm not destroying property.
Yes, you are. You're violating the restraining order.
I'm not.
See, she's in complete denial here, Your Honor. The police called her yesterday. So, yeah, this is what I'm dealing with again, Your Honor. The restraining order was, okay for a while, but apparently they have felt they no longer need to abide by the terms of the restraining order. And so they're on my property, 100%. There used to be a retaining wall there. And see, underneath that lion is my marker. If you lift up that lion, you'll see my marker. So, yeah. So you're going to tell the judge. You're going to tell the judge why you feel you have a right to ignore the restraining order. Like I said, Your Honor, you told her to leave it alone. You told John Matteson to leave it alone. And here they are, going nuts. Like I said, this is mine. This is mine right here. The marker showing where they can't go past because that lion is where the retaining wall used to be. And she removed that retaining wall and put the lion over the marker because she couldn't remove the marker. With your usual lies. Don't forget to show up in court with that fake walker again.
Stop talking to me.
Nope.
Stop talking. Oh, no.
Quit destroying my property.
No. You say no.
Quit destroying my property and I'll quit talking to you. And John Matteson, you're nothing more than a scumbag too. I'm sure your wife and kids are proud of you. Just waiting on the police, but yeah, John Matteson has a wife and kids. And they don't even care that he's violating a restraining order that he got because his employer told him to destroy this girl's property. And he got for keying up my car, taking a knife to it, trying to run me off the road. He has nothing to lose, he says, but like I said, he's got a wife and kids, and they let him just fuck over people. Yeah, all these restraining orders against John Matteson, Linda Crosnoe, any current friends and tenants and future current friends and tenants. Just all saying the same thing. Stay away from my fence. Don't touch anything. Officer outside my bedroom window. Still being defiant of that restraining order. All right, the police are here. Again, I feel like I'm forced to prove something. And but they walked over there. I don't know what's going to happen or not happen. I just know that the police are again, yeah, I got to prove. Oh my gosh. This is me telling him. He needs to get away. So I did call them. They said I need to come back to court to have you say something else, apparently, because they said it's still not clear how close they're allowed to get to my fence. Okay, Your Honor, so he just told me, yeah. He gave me the call for service, and apparently I have to come back and say hi to you. So, yeah, once again, apparently I got to go back into the courtroom, which entails me having to fill out about 400 pages of paper between Linda Crosnoe and John Matteson, because I have 2 separate restraining orders, to make that amendment to the restraining order so that the police officers understand that 10 inches from the property line means 10 inches from the property line, not 10 inches from the wrought iron fence. And so they said, you know, just get back into that courtroom. I do. Like I said, I have been in that courtroom for the last 7 years, between having to obtain all the restraining orders, having to sue for all the damages that have been done by Linda Crosnoe and John Matteson. And they've yet to have to cough up any money for even a citation for violating the restraining order. Yet, if that is the court system, I'm not sure who they're out to protect, but apparently it's not the person who needs protection. Yeah. John Matteson, there's that restraining order. Look at all that. John Matteson, Linda Crosnoe. John Matteson, Linda Crosnoe. Yeah. Again, like I said, and then there's just so much paperwork. And there's Linda's. So much paperwork I got to fill out just to keep them away from me. You just never know which clown you'll see or what act you'll get to entail when you go to the Crosnoe Circus.